Chosen one, pay attention. This is not background noise. This is not another video you casually clicked. This moment was scheduled in the unseen realms long before your finger touched the screen. Something in your spirit felt the pull, a quiet urgency, a tightening in your chest. Because heaven is leaning close right now. God is speaking because this is serious. There is a man connected to your path whose presence is not what it seems. And the timing of this warning is not random. You've survived too much, sensed too much, and prayed too many silent prayers for this to be coincidence. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That subtle disturbance, that confusion you couldn't explain. And chosen one, before we go deeper, pause for a moment, hit subscribe, like, and comment amen if your spirit is already responding. Because this message is about to speak directly to you, and this small step aligns you with what's about to be revealed. Chosen one, you've walked through shadow carrying light you didn't even know you had. You questioned yourself, wondering why certain connections drained you, why clarity disappeared around specific conversations, why peace left the room when one particular energy entered. This is where mystery turns into recognition. God has been watching quietly, allowing discernment to sharpen, allowing patterns to surface. What felt like confusion was actually investigation. Heaven was teaching you how to see beyond words, beyond charm, beyond appearances. Now comes revelation. This man is not appearing by accident. His influence tests your boundaries, your calling, your obedience. Not everyone who walks beside you is meant to walk with you. Some are mirrors, some are lessons, some are warnings wrapped in familiarity. God is not trying to scare you. He is trying to protect what he planted inside you. Your destiny is too valuable to be delayed by distraction or disguised intentions. And here is your divine validation, chosen one. The reason this message feels personal is because it is. You didn't imagine the unease. You weren't overthinking. You weren't being too sensitive. You were discerning. Heaven is confirming what your spirit already whispered in the dark. Stay with me, because in the next moments, a hidden truth is about to surface. And once you see it, you will never see the situation the same way again. Chosen one, let's slow this moment down, because this is where discernment begins to sharpen. This is where God trains your eyes to see beyond sound and into substance. The first sign heaven is asking you to notice is simple yet powerful. His words do not match his actions. And this is not about perfection. This is about alignment. Spirit recognizes spirit, and truth always carries weight when it moves. He may sound convincing when he speaks. His voice may feel smooth, reassuring, even inspired. He may use the right language, the right emotions, the right promises at the right time. He knows how to say what comforts you, what motivates you, what disarms your guard. But chosen one, listen carefully. Words are easy when intention is hidden. Actions, however, are costly. Actions reveal loyalty. Actions reveal character. Actions reveal what the heart is truly serving. Have you noticed how his speech paints one picture, but his behavior quietly paints another? How he promises support, yet disappears when consistency is required? How he speaks of unity, yet his choices create distance or confusion? This is not accidental. God allows patterns to repeat so you can observe them without emotion clouding your sight. This is why you felt unsettled, because your spirit noticed the contradiction before your mind could explain it. Chosen one, deception rarely announces itself loudly. It arrives softly, wrapped in familiarity. It reassures you while redirecting you. It sounds wise but moves selfishly. Ask yourself gently without judgment. Do his actions protect my peace or drain it? Do his choices align with the values he preaches? Do I feel clearer after interacting with him or more confused? These questions are not accusations. They are invitations to clarity. God is teaching you that alignment is a language. When someone is sent by him, their words and actions move in the same direction. Even when they fall short, there is humility, accountability, and consistency. But when someone carries a hidden agenda, the fracture shows over time. Promises stretch thin, explanations multiply, and you're left doing emotional labor to justify what your spirit already flagged. This is where guidance becomes protection. God is not asking you to confront, accuse, or react impulsively. He is asking you to observe, to pause, to let truth expose itself without force. Because chosen one, when words and actions don't align, heaven is whispering, pay attention. Not everything said is meant to be followed. So let me ask you, how many times have you felt something was off but talked yourself out of it? How often did you silence your discernment to keep the peace? And what would change in your life if you trusted what God is revealing now? Stay present, because this is only the first sign, and each one brings you closer to clarity, freedom, and divine protection. Chosen one, breathe into this moment, because this sign is quieter, more subtle, yet incredibly powerful. He creates confusion, not loudly, not dramatically, but gently, almost invisibly. This is the kind of confusion that doesn't feel like chaos at first. It feels like a slight fog, a heaviness you can't name, a sense that something shifted inside you after the interaction, even though nothing wrong was said out loud. You may notice that after speaking with him, your clarity feels diluted, your confidence softens, your certainty wavers. Conversations replay in your mind, not because they were meaningful, but because they were unsettling. You ask yourself questions you never needed to ask before. Did I misunderstand? Am I being too sensitive? Why do I feel drained instead of uplifted? Chosen one, this is not weakness. This is awareness awakening. God designed your spirit to recognize misalignment before your mind can logically explain it. When truth is present, it brings peace, even when it challenges you. But when confusion enters, it lingers, it clouds, it destabilizes. This is why God often uses instinct when logic fails. Your spirit speaks in sensations long before your thoughts form sentences. That tightness in your chest, that sudden tiredness, that loss of inner calm, those are not random reactions, they are signals. Notice how subtle this confusion is. He may speak in circles. He may give half answers that sound deep but resolve nothing. He may shift narratives, gently contradicting himself while making it seem like you missed something. And slowly, chosen one, you begin questioning yourself instead of questioning the pattern. That is how confusion works. It redirects discernment inward until you doubt your own perception. Ask yourself honestly, why do I feel less clear after engaging with him? Why do I need time to recover emotionally or spiritually? Why does my intuition speak louder after silence than during conversation? These questions aren't meant to accuse, they're meant to illuminate. God never rushes revelation, but he always confirms it through repetition. If the confusion keeps returning, it is not accidental, it is instructional. Here is the deeper truth, chosen one. God is not the author of confusion. When he sends someone into your life, even difficult conversations carry direction. Even correction brings clarity. But when someone subtly disrupts your peace, clouds your judgment, or disconnects you from your inner knowing, heaven is waving a quiet flag. This isn't about fear, it's about protection. So slow down. Stop explaining away what your spirit keeps pointing to. You don't need all the answers right now. You only need honesty with yourself. Trust that God is guiding you through sensation before explanation, through instinct before evidence. Let me ask you, when was the last time you ignored that inner signal just to keep harmony? And what would happen if this time you honored what God is revealing instead of overriding it? Stay with this feeling, because clarity is returning, and confusion cannot survive where truth is welcomed. Chosen one, take a moment and center yourself, because this next sign is both subtle and profound. He pushes you to act before you're ready. It rarely comes in the form of shouting or obvious coercion. Instead, it whispers like urgency disguised as opportunity, as if the universe itself is urging you to move faster than your spirit is prepared. You feel the pressure, almost like a tightening in your chest, a sense that if you hesitate even a little, you might miss out. But listen carefully, because this is not coincidence. This is a divine test, and God is using these moments to guard your destiny. He may present choices as if they are blessings, opportunities, or even necessary for growth. He may frame them in such a way that hesitation feels like failure. In Chosen One, this is where discernment becomes essential. There is a difference between a step ordained by God and a step pushed by human ambition. When someone pressures you, your spirit knows before your mind can catch up. That tug of discomfort, the subtle inner alarm that whispers "not yet," is God intervening. Your intuition is a divine pause, a protective boundary, a lifeline from falling into a trap you cannot yet see. Have you noticed how he frames urgency as if it's your responsibility to act immediately? How he magnifies your fear of missing out while downplaying your inner wisdom? This is no accident. Heaven never rushes. Even when God calls you to move, there is preparation, there is timing, and there is alignment with your spiritual readiness. Pressure without alignment is always a red flag. Ask yourself, am I being moved by fear, excitement, or intuition? Whose timeline am I really following right now? Chosen One, this is also a spiritual lesson in patience and trust. God pauses your steps not to frustrate you, but to protect you. He delays your advancement to ensure that when you do step forward, it is on solid ground, illuminated by clarity and backed by divine timing. Every instance where someone pressures you to act prematurely is an invitation to check in with your spirit, to breathe, and to reaffirm your alignment. This is how heaven teaches boundaries. This is how your discernment is refined. And let me ask you, how many times have you felt pushed into decisions that later felt heavy or wrong? How many opportunities came wrapped in excitement but left your spirit unsettled? This is why God has given you intuition, hesitation, and inner alarm bells. They are not weaknesses. They are your spiritual compass, pointing you away from what would derail your path and toward what is meant for you. So pause, Chosen One. Feel the pressure, acknowledge it, but do not submit to it without reflection. Trust that waiting is not losing. Waiting is protection. Waiting is preparation. When you act from readiness rather than compulsion, every step carries purpose. Because the truth is this: divine timing never hurries. And when you follow it, you step into your destiny fully, without regret, without compromise, and fully shielded from hidden traps. Do you feel that pull, that quiet insistence in your spirit telling you to slow down? That is God's hand, Chosen One, guiding you to move only when it is truly your time. And when that moment comes, it will be unmistakable. Chosen One, settle into this moment, because this sign cuts straight to the heart of spiritual discernment. His influence threatens your peace. And peace, Chosen One, is not a luxury, it is a language. It is the quiet signal God uses to tell you when something is aligned and when something is off. When peace begins to fade in the presence of someone who claims closeness, heaven is asking you to pay attention. Not everyone who stands near you is safe for you. Some people are allowed proximity not because they are meant to stay, but because they are meant to reveal something. You may notice that before his presence became consistent, your inner world felt calmer. Your thoughts were clearer. Your prayers felt lighter. But now there's agitation, restlessness, a subtle tension you can't shake. Even in silence, your spirit feels unsettled. This is not coincidence. This is communication. Peace does not mean life is perfect. Peace means your spirit is not at war with itself. God's presence brings stillness even during storms. But when someone's influence constantly disrupts that stillness, something is misaligned. You may find yourself overthinking after interactions, replaying conversations, feeling defensive, drained, or emotionally guarded. Ask yourself honestly, why do I feel the need to protect my energy around him? Why does my body tense when his name appears? Why do I feel relief when there is distance? Chosen One, peace is your spiritual compass. When you're moving in the right direction, even challenges carry calm. But when peace disappears, it's often because your spirit is resisting something your mind hasn't fully processed yet. God uses peace as an early warning system, before logic, before proof, before confrontation. This is why ignoring the loss of peace leads to prolonged confusion, because you're overriding divine guidance with human reasoning. Notice how his influence affects your alignment. Do you feel more connected to God after interacting with him, or more distracted? Do you feel empowered to be yourself, or subtly pressured to adjust, explain, or shrink. True connections don't require you to abandon your inner calm. They don't demand emotional labor just to maintain balance. When someone consistently disrupts your peace, it is not your responsibility to fix the discomfort. It is your responsibility to recognize the signal. And here's the deeper truth, chosen one. God will never ask you to sacrifice your peace to keep access to someone who is not aligned with your calling. Peace is not weakness. It is strength refined. It is protection in its purest form. When peace leaves, it is not abandonment, it is instruction. So ask yourself gently, what has my peace been trying to tell me? What would change if I trusted that inner stillness more than external reassurance? And who benefits when I ignore my own calm? Slow down. Honor what you feel without judgment. You don't need to rush decisions or explain boundaries. Awareness comes before action, and sometimes distance is not rejection, it is divine correction. Stay with me, chosen one, because when peace returns, clarity follows. And when clarity arrives, you will understand exactly why God was protecting you all along. Chosen one, this next truth carries a quiet power, one that your spirit already senses, but your mind may resist. Distance is protection. Not every lesson requires confrontation. Not every warning demands a battle. Sometimes the most profound act of spiritual wisdom is to allow space to exist, to step back, and to trust that God is orchestrating the separation for your highest good. When someone's presence threatens your clarity, your peace, or your path, distance is often the divine tool of preservation. You may wonder why things feel off, why connection feels heavy or misaligned, and why your heart longs for separation even when your mind protests. This is God speaking in the language of boundaries. Heaven often protects without a dramatic confrontation, without conflict, without proving a point. Instead, he arranges circumstances, timing, and distance to shield you from harm that you may not yet fully understand. The absence you feel is not a punishment, nor is it abandonment. It is a layer of divine care designed to keep your spirit intact. Have you noticed how your energy shifts when someone is too close, too demanding, too controlling, or too contradictory to your calling? Your instinct may say, step back. Your logic may resist, thinking that silence or avoidance is weak. But chosen one, the distance is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the unseen hand of God placing a buffer between your soul and the influence that could mislead, harm, or distract you from your divine purpose. Ask yourself, do I feel lighter when I take a step back? Does clarity return when the tension fades? These are the signals of spiritual protection in action. Distance also allows you to see the truth more clearly. When we are too entangled with someone, emotions cloud judgment, and the voice of the spirit becomes drowned in expectation, fear, or manipulation. Space creates perspective. Space restores your inner authority. Space gives God room to realign circumstances and reveal what is hidden. By maintaining distance, you are not rejecting the lesson. You are choosing to absorb it safely on your own terms, in alignment with your spiritual readiness. And chosen one, this is where trust becomes essential. Trust that God knows what you cannot see. Trust that removal, absence, or separation is not arbitrary. Trust that every pause, every silent moment, every step back is a layer of protection designed to preserve your destiny. There is no need for confrontation. There is no need to explain yourself or justify boundaries to someone who cannot respect them. God will handle the timing, the revelation, and the restoration when it is right. So ask yourself, who benefits when I force closeness that drains my spirit? How would my life change if I honored this protective space instead of rushing to reconcile or react? And what truths could God reveal while I stand back and observe? Stay calm, chosen one, because distance is not loss. It is divine shielding. It is a spiritual pause, allowing clarity, peace, and readiness to flourish. And when God calls you to step forward again, you will do so with a heart that is steady, a spirit that is aligned, and a destiny that is fully protected. The truth is, sometimes stepping back is the strongest move you can make. Heaven applauds patience. Heaven honors discernment, and heaven always protects those who are willing to trust the quiet power of distance. Chosen one, slow your breath and open your awareness, because this final sign carries the weight of divine intention. God is revealing him to you for a reason. This is not paranoia. This is not suspicion born from fear or past wounds. This is guidance, precise, timely, and deeply personal. Heaven does not expose without purpose. When God reveals, it is because protection is already in motion. You didn't suddenly become too aware. You didn't imagine the shift. The clarity arriving now is not accidental, it is earned. You've walked through confusion, endured pressure, guarded your peace and honored distance, and now revelation follows obedience. God reveals people when you are strong enough to see the truth without collapsing under it. What once felt foggy now begins to sharpen. What once felt uncertain now feels confirmed. This is not coincidence, this is alignment. Ask yourself, why now? Why is this awareness surfacing at this exact moment? Because chosen one, if you did not recognize this pattern now, you might carry it for years. God loves you too much to allow a lifetime of unnecessary struggle when a moment of recognition can redirect your path. Revelation is mercy. It shortens cycles. It prevents detours that cost peace, purpose, and precious time. Notice how the truth didn't arrive all at once. God layered it gently. A mismatch here, confusion there, pressure felt, peace disturbed, distance formed. Each sign was a step toward readiness. This is how divine guidance works. God does not overwhelm, he prepares. By the time revelation arrives, your spirit already knows how to hold it. You are not shocked because you are trained. You are not afraid because you are anchored. Chosen one, recognizing him now does not mean judgment or confrontation. It means wisdom. It means choosing clarity over chaos, alignment over attachment, destiny over delay. God is not exposing him to stir fear. He is revealing him to set you free. When something is revealed, it loses power. When truth is seen, confusion dissolves. And when awareness rises, manipulation cannot survive. Let me ask you something gently. What struggles have repeated in your life that suddenly make sense now? What patterns are finally connecting? What peace do you feel simply by understanding? This is the fruit of revelation. This is what it feels like when God steps in before damage is done. Trust this moment. Trust that God knows what you don't. Trust that your awareness is a gift, not a burden. You are not late. You are right on time. Heaven has been guiding you step by step, and now the picture is clear enough for you to move forward without fear. Stay grounded, chosen one. Because when God reveals, it is never to confuse. It is to liberate. And the clarity you carry now will save you years of struggle, heartache, and misalignment. The truth has surfaced, and from here on, your path becomes lighter, stronger, and unmistakably protected.